Yo, what up, guys? I just wanted to take a moment to talk a little bit about the Anchor app. Anchor is available on the iTunes Store and the Android Store. Honestly, when I was trying to start my podcast show, I really didn't know what to do, and I actually found this app by accident. I must say, though, that Anchor.fm is a hands down amazing app. I can't even begin to explain. It allows me to add my own music. It gives me sound effects. It gives me interludes to play with. It allows me to trim my audio. Honestly, it just really gives me all the tools to put a quality show together. I love it. Honestly, Anchor is a one-stop shop for recording, hosting, and distributing your podcast. Best of all, it's 100% free and ridiculously easy to use. I promise you guys. And now Anchor can match you with great sponsors who want to advertise on your podcast. That means you can get paid to podcast right away. In fact, that's what I'm doing right now by reading this ad. Like, seriously, that's what I'm doing. So with that being said, go to anchor.fm/start. That's anchor.fm/start. Join me, join this amazing community, and let's get started. I'll see you guys in there.
There we go.
We back.
All right. So I guess what we'll do is we'll post this episode to Anchor, and then I'll also rip the audio from it and post it to YouTube.
Sounds good.
That way it's on both platforms. So without further ado, I am your host, JP.
And I am your host, David.
And you are listening to
3 Count Reviews.
Holy shit. Okay, so we have quite a bit of news, but we've decided to divvy it up. Some of the news we'll cover in our next episode when we do Impact. But we are going to get to the, I guess you could say, other news, first news. But before we do that, how are you, bro?
Pretty good. You know,
dude.
Go for it.
I feel like I'm more natural on Anchor than I am on YouTube.
Maybe because there's no camera, right?
Yeah, you think I would be used to it by now, being a professional dancer, but whatever.
Fair enough.
Whatever. You're unnatural. Anyway, so if you are listening to this episode on Anchor, you are obviously getting the audio version. But if you are listening to this on YouTube, you are getting this version with no cameras because of technical difficulties. So with that being said, let's just, get it going. Enjoy the lovely sound of our voices as we whisper ASMR into your ears.
Yeah, we're just going to speak in ASMR this whole video.
I'm going to pop bubbles. Now, I'm not knocking that stuff because, people are really into that, on Twitch and whatnot. I always check different channels out. But then when you actually listen to it and just, close your eyes, it's very intriguing, the different things that you hear, Yeah, it's interesting. So I don't knock it. But I'm just saying, I'm going to pop these plastic bubbles. So without further ado, let's get to the news. But yeah, it's definitely.
First on the news, we have a ex-WWE superstar challenging Cody Rhodes. Oh, sorry, just Cody now for the TNT Championship.
Heyo.
And it's JTG from Crime Time. So he's posted on Twitter this fan-made graphic showing him facing Rhodes on a future episode of Dynamite. And his tweet was, funny how you see these fan-made creations, hinting maybe he wants a shot at the title.
Yeah.
Now, as we've reported on our podcast, sadly, Shad Gaspard has passed away, but JTT may be wrestling in his honor. This would be a really nice touch for him. And even if it's not a match to sign JTG, this would be a nice homage to Shad Gaspard.
Yeah, I agree to that. Obviously you don't want it to be a one-off, but but even if it is, just the mere fact that you're allowing this single match to happen in honor Um,
Hmm.
you know, it's gonna it's gonna be meaningful because we've already seen it happen several times. Especially with Street Profits in
Yeah, when they hit that G9, that
yeah,
was a good tribute.
yeah. Wait, did I say Street Profits?
Oh, you know
Private
what? I
private
didn't catch you either.
private
So that
party.
was my bad.
Wow. Um, I'm half black, so I get a pass on that one. Anyway, so but
They're
I'm
gonna see
always
in the
thinking,
comments right now, JP's racist. Okay.
oh my god, seriously, I'm not. I'm half black. Um, and they're not even the same tag team either. Like, there are some
Uh,
people who say that, and I just feel like it's trolling. Like, to me, they're not the same
mhm.
tag team at all. And to be honest with you, really wish Street Profits were just in NXT right now. Can they just go back down? Because they were just so much more enjoyable there. Uh,
Yes, please.
it was like a lot less red. Um, but you know, Private Party, like, they had a match not too long ago, in honor of one of their friends that had passed, and it wasn't even
Mhm.
just them. Like, there was other wrestlers that were a part of that as well too. Wait, was it Lucha Bros, or who
Oh,
was it that they?
which tribute are you talking about?
Um, it was Private Party, and I forgot who they faced, and I forgot who it was that had passed away, but it was somebody that had died in the wrestling industry, and Private Party and another tag team had a match for this reason, in honor of, and it's none of it's coming to me right now. Um,
Yeah,
but
I'm drawing a blank too.
wow, but well, you have a computer, search it. So I'm on my phone. Anyway, oh wait, I can search it. Anyway, so it's just one of those things where it's like we've seen it happen before, and the beautiful thing about AEW is how they approach these things. Whether it's in a match or just in honor of, like, this person's here because of this or whatever. It's just nice. I don't know. It just feels nice. I mean, not saying WWE doesn't do a good job honoring those that have passed. Um, you know, I I mean, I kind of agree with Wrestle Talk. Like, their video packages are like some of the most amazing things I've ever seen.
Yep.
Um, and when they do the memorial packages for, like, different people, like, even just featuring wrestlers, period, it's the subtlety of, like, the dimming, and then you see the photo, and then the years. Um, it's nice how they do it, and it puts a stamp on it.
Hmm.
But AEW, I don't know. It just feels a little bit more personal when AEW goes about it. I haven't really seen other wrestling companies, like, when it happens somewhere else. Um, there might have been something in New Japan, because I know whoever it was had, like, had wrestled around. Um, I don't know, but
Oh, there was there's no deaths I know about in New Japan, but there's a tribute for Jushin Thunder Liger. He
yes,
wrestled once in NXT, only against Tyler Breeze, which is kind of a cool feat for Tyler Breeze.
from what I heard,
Um,
he chose him, unless I'm wrong. But from what I heard, he
oh, that's really cool then.
he had a choice, and he wanted to wrestle Tyler. I'm not sure. I could be wrong on that, but
I mean, I could see that. I love Tyler's moveset, and back when he was in NXT, I mean, he looked like a very credible threat. Like, he had a shot at the NXT title once,
dude,
albeit it was a triple threat, but still a
yeah,
title shot.
yeah. Honestly, the new version of Breezango. Now that we're on the topic of Tyler Breeze, the new version of Breezango, where it's like they have fun and they joke around, but then, like, when the bell rings, they're like super serious.
Yep.
I'm really liking that version. The NXT
Yes.
Breezango is the version I always want to see. Um,
Yeah.
I love it so much. Anyway, back on topic. Like I was saying, AEW is nice about how they go about these things. So it's nice that they'll be able to put on this match. Let's just hope it's not a one-off, because it would be nice to see people not just pay tribute, but to carry the torch for them to go forward.
Mm. Mm-hmm.
Um, we'll see what happens.
Yeah. And I mean, I liked JTG when they repackaged him after Crime Time split, I mean, it was okay, but they just never went anywhere with it. And if he just came back to the wrestling scene, I'd be okay with him. Yeah, he's a good
Yeah,
wrestler.
I agree with that. There's a huge train in the background. So, but yeah, I agree. We'll see what happens. Who knows?
Yeah, honestly, he could do like some kind of program with Private Party, since there's Matt there, an ex-WWE guy, and then it looks like Private Party looks up to Crime Time, so it could be a good addition, honestly.
Yeah, I agree.
All right, so next we have some very controversial news.
Ooh, risque.
This is a change of booking, and what a change. So, it's been reported Sasha Banks was not originally booked to win the Raw Women's Championship. Now, this booking was changed twice, I'll mind you. First,
of course it was.
Plan, of course it was, right?
Of course it was.
Yeah. And we were talking about this really weird ending. So the original plan at Extreme Rules was for Asuka to retain the title. But earlier in the day, before the pay-per-view, so day of, the decision was made to stretch it out onto the next episode of Raw.
Wow, of course Asuka, it was.
Right, because Asuka was still going to retain then, but the booking changed again because on Monday Night Raw, it was supposed to be Asuka retaining, but they were trying to write Kairi out in a very meaningful way. So they had Asuka run out to, save Kairi, who was being attacked by Bayley. And Sasha won by countout, so she's her new Raw Women's Champion.
Now, let me say this, and if you guys do not know, follow us on Twitter at 3Count Reviews, because this is concerning Twitter. So, if you guys didn't know, unless you were a part of the mayhem for Monday Night Raw, everyone and their mom literally was up in arms about this finish, and I am right there with them. This finish, for lack of a better phrase, this is an adult programming, was horseshit. So, it's, man, and I wasn't even watching the match. Just hearing the finish, I was like, what? Are you kidding me? Like, I get that you're trying to do something meaningful for Kairi, but come on, a count-out loss, and that decides the title. Like,
yeah,
Asuka deserves better than that, and Kairi deserves better than that, because on her way out, would love to see her best friend actually put on a 5-star match. Like, she would love to be a part of that. And then after, like, the title is either won or lost, then you can have something with Bayley and go from there, and then have a moment of Asuka saving her, and Asuka has the title, or Asuka lost it, but she was there for her friend, blah, blah, blah. But at least you had a solid fucking match. Why is that so difficult to do? Why do they think that people don't want to see that shit? Like, give us NXT style matches, okay, where you actually let them compete. Like, I'll be like, on NXT, when they do matches where things don't end a certain way, like definitively, somebody interfered, a heel did this, blah blah blah. It's usually the baby matches that get treated like that. But the bigger matches, even if there is a really big twist at the end, or like something kind of shady or whatever, it still has such a fucking pop, because they do it right. They time it well. Mm-hmm. And on top of that, they're giving actual fucking... Sorry. Oh, man, I'm really going in, because this stuff, man, it really gets me going. They're giving actual matches. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can have somebody like Johnny Gargano do some really shady stuff, but at least it made sense. At least when you saw it, you were genuinely shocked, but you weren't disgusted in the sense of, like, what the fuck is this product? Like, it's not making any sense. But more so, you were disgusted by the actions of Johnny wrestling. How could he do this? You know what I mean? That type of response. Where you're actually invested, not genuinely hating the product. Like, Why? Like, okay, you know what? I need some tea. I
Fair
really
enough,
need.
man.
I really need some tea.
So,
But yeah, what do you think, bro? That stuff,
um,
man. Ugh.
honestly, it's tough booking because like what well not tough in like how should they have ended this match. That was very straightforward. They should have had Oscar retain. She just won the title, but it was just like really weird watching like the storyline progress, because it was just okay, you had Oscar who basically was praised by your former champion and biggest star Becky Lynch to be the next Raw Women's champion, right? And there was news reports that the original plan was to have Asuka go to SummerSlam as a champion and go against Shayna Baszler, a match we never got in NXT because Asuka got sent to the main roster before that happened.
that
And now,
match, that match would have been off the chain.
yes, because we SummerSlam is supposed to be for matches like these dream matches that we always want to see and couldn't.
Yeah.
But now who are you gonna face? You basically booked yourself into a corner. Who is Sasha gonna face? Because there was plans for her to go against Bailey.
Trish Stratus.
Oh, that's a really good choice, actually. Yeah.
I was joking, but you know, the reason okay, not to cut you off, but the reason why I say that is because WWE, it seems like they always book everything into a freaking corner, and then they always find a way out of it. So it's either Trish Stratus or Lita. I don't know. And I'm definitely being sarcastic, but at the same time, I don't know, because WWE would actually pull some shit like that out for SummerSlam.
Yeah, because here's the thing. That sounds like a very WWE-esque move. Like, out of nowhere, Ronda Rousey's back. She faced Sasha Banks or something. Like, they always rely on part-timers for these big-time pay-per-views instead of, their wrestlers that are wrestling every week and getting over with the crowd or lack of crowd right now. But
yeah.
So, two people got shafted in this storyline switch because now Shayna is most likely reported to shift to facing Nia Jax, and no discredit to Nia Jax, but I would definitely prefer watching Asuka versus Shayna Baszler. And Asuka just recently lost her title. I don't remember if there was a title defense before Sasha Banks, but if there isn't, then she lost in her first title defense as Raw Women's Champion.
Do we know who booked this? Like, that info is out there. Do we know who it was?
So the head writer is the guy who's replaced Paul Heyman, but it still has to be approved by Vince. Now we know the switch in plans last minute for the pay-per-view for Extreme Rules was made by Vince on the day of the pay-per-view. Now, for whose ever idea it was to change the result of the match on Raw, it either has to be Vince or the lead writer, which is... Let me see if I can pull something up.
Yeah. While you look that up, I'm really hoping that it wasn't the idea of like Oscar Kyrie. Like no we way. Have like I don't know. After reading Twitter, I was just like, wow. Like watching this, I would have just been standing there with my like hands out with like the most stank face and just like say like WTF, like you know what I mean? Like this is what I was saying in our past episode. This stuff never changes. It's just like, and that's why I'm saying like, even if Vince McMahon steps down, I am not 100% convinced that see what I did there? Convinced. Anyway, that Raw and SmackDown will all of a sudden change, and Triple H will bring us back to salvation. Like I feel like Raw and SmackDown are supposed to have these models, and everything else can do what it wants to do. Like, but Raw and SmackDown and main event have to be like this. Like, So Raw, SmackDown, and main event have to be horseshit. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm sure there's really good moments, but if you guys don't know by now, this is an AEW NXT show. Like, we are not watching Raw and SmackDown right now, just because the last time SmackDown was honestly good, in my opinion, was when it premiered on Fox.
Yeah.
All of that,
when the brand split was fresh too.
Yeah, like all of that sports aspect stuff and like coverage and everything, like that should somehow be a weekly freaking thing. You know, now it's just like, oh, they welcomed us in and now we're back to doing what we were doing. Enjoy it. You know, like no. Like, you know, and then Roman Reigns gets dog food poured all over him. Like, I don't want to see that shit, you know? Like, why?
Storylines just get dropped here and there, and then like long-term plans get changed, like on the blink of an eye or something. It's crazy. Like, okay, who's the SmackDown hacker? We still don't know, dude, and I don't think we ever will. And what happened to that Sasha and Bayley feud? Because right now it looks like they're going to be tag teaming forever.
Man, I haven't watched in so long. I don't even remember what the last thing that happened.
And all I remember threw the pie at Kevin Owens. Okay.
Yeah, oh my god. Like, all I remember is like I feel like I got really drunk and like white girl wasted and like completely blacked out, and the only thing I remember is seeing Roman Reigns getting poured dog food all over him. Like, it seriously feels like The Hangover. Like, I don't remember the last thing. Like, Raw, or like the last thing I kind of remember is like the pay-per-view of Extreme Rules because we covered it. But like, other than that, you know.
Go home, Raw. You're drunk.
Yes. Well, no, I'm drunk. Shit, I can't remember nothing. Yeah. So, yeah. Let's keep it going.
Yeah. So, with that covered, we're gonna move on to AEW.
Yeah.
For the show review for the July 29th episode.
Yeah.
Starts off with a very strong opening. We have Inner Circle, including the returning Sammy Guevara versus Best Friends. Orange Cassidy. Jungle Boy. And Luchasaurus.
Yeah.
And
sorry, that was loud.
No, you're good. This match delivered because Luchasaurus goes for a chokeslam on Sammy. Jericho tries to intercept with Floyd the Bat, but Cassidy fends him off. Sammy is still on the top rope, so Matt pushes him down the turnbuckle, letting Luchasaurus hit the chokeslam and then the tail kick for the win. So this is a perfect way to reconnect that storyline where Matt was trying to change Sammy. So I like how they reintegrated that. It was very like clean. Like, you almost didn't remember he was like banned for like 3 or 2 weeks.
Yeah. Why was he banned again? See, and good job, AEW. I can't remember why he was banned. Oh, it was yeah. There we go. That's horrible. Bad boy. But I like it too. Did you feel like, okay, I know Matt has different versions to him, but did you feel like for some odd ass reason he was phoning it in? Because he wasn't really giving me much, even as Matt. Like, even regular Matt Hardy, like, because I know that's like one of his incarnations or like metamorphoses.
Yeah, that's a really good question because that felt like regular Matt.
But like it felt like not trying Matt. That's the difference. Like, it was regular Matt, and then it was like not trying Matt on top of that.
Like,
I don't know.
This isn't like Matt Hardy, the professional wrestler. This is like Matt Hardy, the guy who's gonna come to your couch and just like chill, you know. Like,
I'm not even saying
that day.
I'm not even saying that. I'm saying this is like Matt Hardy, like literally Matt Hardy, the human being, like outside of kayfabe, like literally. Matt Hardy is just looking past a camera, and I feel like he wasn't trying as an actor. I'm not even talking about. Yeah, like it. Like, when I say phoning it in, I mean like he's not in character. Like, he's just being regular old, like just regular Matt. Like, I don't know. Maybe he had a stomach ache and couldn't focus. I mean, I know I'd be getting them. Pepto Bismol. Hey, sponsor us. But it just like watch it again. Like watch his like reaction and how he's just kind of like talking. I know he's trying to be regular Matt, but it looked like he wasn't trying to act. Not to break kayfabe.
Yeah, maybe the varying characters are just like messing him up, where it's like, how normal is regular Matt, or
maybe he was.
Matt?
I need Pepto Bismol, Matt.
True.
Sponsors.
You never know; it could be a new version. Yeah.
Hey, 2 Chainz.
Yeah.
But right. Yeah, it was cool.
Yeah, honestly, good match. I mean,
yeah.
Do you think it's weird that Inner Circle has lost a couple? No, not a couple. They've lost all their 5-man tag matches. So as a faction, they've lost all their matches.
I think that how they're able to not make it seem like that is actually a thing is hilarious to me. Fair. But when you split them up, Sammy has had wins. Yeah. Santana and Ortiz have had their own wins. Fair share of losses, yes, but they've had their own wins. Jake Hager has had some wins and some losses. Obviously, Chris Jericho has had wins because he's the first ever champion. So it's there. The wins are there. But yes, as a collective unit, they do not do that well. And that is why I think it's hilarious, because as a unit, they should not be a unit. Like, realistically, when you look at Inner Circle, they don't look like they should ever be a crew. Like, to be real with you, this looks like a crew that survived a zombie apocalypse. And this is who you got left.
Yeah, like, I feel like Jericho has to be the glue for this group for sure, because, like,
but they make it work. It's weird. Yeah. Like it's like it's so weird how much the Inner Circle actually works as a faction. But at the same time, like, if you didn't know wrestling or didn't watch wrestling, and I just show you like, yo, do you think this is a crew? Like, it wouldn't make sense to people. You know what I mean? But the way they came together through AEW does. You know what I'm saying? So that's cool. But yes. The reason it's hilarious is because they're so different. That's why it doesn't work. There's no solid cohesivity. Cohesivity. Okay, and because of that is why they lose when they fight as a big ass unit. What they need to do is almost have a WCW NWO type pay-per-view, where it's AEW Inner Circle presents whatever, but most of the matches is Inner Circle facing like the Elite or whoever. But it's not as one unit. It's Santana and Ortiz versus Young Bucks. It's Sammy Guevara versus Kenny Omega. It's Jericho versus rematch with Scorpio Sky. You know what I'm saying? Like, make it a little different, right? Hangman Page versus Jake Hager. Jesus.
Oh, that'd be good.
Okay. So, who else? Oh, Ref Aubrey Edwards versus Jake Hager's wife. Like, come on.
Word. I'd put good money on Aubrey Edwards.
Thank you. And not no bra and panties match. We don't do that dumb shit over here.
No.
All right? We don't roll that way over here. But that would be a dope special to watch. You know what I'm saying? And you could make the point that Inner Circle is better when they fight separately rather than collectively. But when they roll as a crew, they do have each other's backs. Like, you also have to put emphasis on the fact that when they win a match, if any member from the Inner Circle is there, they have to have they have to have done something that creates that positive outcome for it to actually mean something. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Because if you're going to say that they don't work as a collective crew, then you gotta show like, well, but if we have your if we have your backs and you guys got a tag match, you guys won, we were there for you, blah blah blah, whatever. Like, Inner Circle's got each other's backs. It's just we shouldn't fight as a big squad. You know what I'm saying? It don't work. So I know that was in a lot of detail, but that's why I think it's hilarious, because it is that dopey bunch of guys that honestly should would never realistically be a crew, and that's why it doesn't work, but yet it works. It's so weird. I love it. And it's Jericho, man. I swear to God, Jericho is a genius. He knew who he knew who he needed, and was like, okay, this is what we're gonna do. This is gonna be the squad.
Mm-hmm.
Brilliant.
And all of them do comedy so well. I think he picked them the way they can handle themselves in the ring.
Yeah, I
and
agree.
because of their mic skills or comedy skills, because they got it, man.
Yeah. All of them. I would say Sammy could use a fair share of improvement when it comes to ad-libbing on the microphone. But all in all,
Fair.
they're all really good promos.
Oh yeah.
It's obviously Jericho is the demo god, so
Yeah. And Sammy doing those cards he used to do during ad breaks, genius.
Yeah, I like that actually. Can we go back to that, Sammy?
Yes, please. Can he wrestle more during ad breaks?
He
does that?
We need Matt and Kenny to run him over with another vehicle.
Oh, true.
Yes.
Just justification, because he was suspended. You gotta teach him a lesson. You gotta hit him with something.
He should just be walking to the bathroom or get just get COVID checked, but there's a golf cart for no reason that just runs him over. But of course, Kenny and Matt should wear face masks.
Facts.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm looking at Sammy Guevara versus that golf cart at Double or Nothing. But
I like it. Wait, isn't All Out next?
Yeah, but it has to be for the biggest pay-per-view.
Oh, you need the build. You need the build.
Yes.
You got to take your time. All right, I feel it.
All right, next we got a title match. The hits keep coming. It's Warhorse versus Cody for the TNT title. Now, I didn't know too much about this guy previous to this match, but man, this kid can wrestle, dude.
Yeah, he was really entertaining, and I like his rendition of the Macho Man elbow drop.
Yeah,
maybe a little bit more height, but at the same time, it was still a really solid elbow drop. I like how he pumps into it. For those of you that don't know, there in my mind, there are two Macho Man Randy Savage elbow drops. One is when you jump off the top rope and you're holding the elbow and you just glide with the wind and drop the elbow, right? The other one is the pump action slam, and that's the one that I really like. And to me, that one's more retro. And that's the one where you jump off the top, and then as you get that air and you start to come down a little bit, you pump your right arm under you and bring it back up, then drop the elbow. It gives a nice good scoop while you're in the air to add more downforce, actually.
It looks more lethal, too.
It does. And at the same time, I like that one more because that one, the minute I see it, I think Randy. You know what I'm saying? However, I believe Bailey does the regular elbow drop. I don't know if she does I don't think she does the pump. But I liked it when she was doing that because she actually really cared about paying homage to Macho Man. You know what I'm saying? And her elbow drop, when she would actually really go for it. And when I mean go for it, I mean jump, actually jump. She has a really beautiful elbow drop. But nobody has an elbow drop like Kairi Sane. I'm just saying.
Yeah, she bends her whole body into it.
It's death-defying. If you had to relate it to skateboarding, she is going practically blind on an elbow drop and trusting that she doesn't land on the back of her freaking neck. Because once she jumps, she scoops her legs under her, and she essentially let's talk about the Kairi Sane elbow drop from NXT, not main roster. That elbow drop is bullshit, and she knows it too. So when she goes, she all of a sudden thrusts her legs into the air, and it's just purely back, and she's not really looking down. So she also has to have solid precision to know that she's going to hit where she's supposed to. Her elbow drop, when she hit her elbow drop for the first time at the first Mae Young Classic, oh my God, that I I think my chair flew. That's how hard I like stood up. I was like, what the hell was that?
Yeah, that hit hard.
Man. Oh, best elbow drop, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think there was like this. It was either like Wrestle Talk or Cultaholic, but they were talking about Kairi Sane. I didn't know her about her back then, and they were like praising her elbow drop, and I've never seen it yet. So I'm like, yeah, whatever, man. It's still just like a flying elbow drop. Like, how much can you vary it? But Kairi Sane changes the elbow drop so much where it's like you have to call it something else. Like you have to call it the insane elbow drop because it's almost its own different move at that point.
And that's why you call it the insane elbow, because that shit is literally insane. Like how she has not broken her neck. Maybe she has, and I just don't know. But how she has not broken her neck doing that is beyond me. Because that thing, like the way she kicks her feet up over herself, you can easily over-rotate that and not be aware that you have and think that you're going to make it. You know what I mean? Like, you don't... like, I'm starting to get Owen Hart vibes right now. Anyway, so, moving on!
All right. Next, we got... Oh, wait. I just gotta finish off this part. So basically, Warhorse did give a good fight, but he taps out to the figure 4.
Figure 4 leg lock.
And you think that's it, right? But Dark Order comes to attack Cody. They're on everyone in the elite right now, by the way. Dark Order, 2 random members attack Cody. I don't think they're numbered. And then Matt Cardona, formerly known as Zack Ryder, comes out to save him. The 90-day clause is up, and he was ready, man. I am excited to see him in AEW.
Did you expect him to show up?
There was that tweet that Cody did way back when, but I didn't think he was going to show up on tonight's episode or that night's episode. That just shocked me.
It's almost like for the deep fans, the super heavy fans, because they'll be the ones who know that, like, yo, time is up on so and so's contract, and they would be able to predict that they're going to end up where they end up. But I like how he came in. I like his more serious look. I was waiting for the cracked smile, which after all these years I fucking hate. He looks like that's the thing I love about AEW is they know how to, like, they know what it means to actually repackage something.
Yeah, also he got buffer.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, I noticed that too. I like the facial hair
during COVID. Yeah. Dude, honestly, he got over once, and if they do it right this time, he can get over again. I believe.
I agree with that.
Yeah, this guy's gonna go far. I know at least he's gonna win the TNT title once, at least.
It would look good on him. Can they finish the belt already? Damn.
Yes, please. I don't know the situation there. There's literally no reports on that, so I'm curious myself. But also I would just warn Cody because the last 2 friends he's had in AEW has betrayed him. One's hit him in the head with a chair, and the other one's low blowed him. So watch your back, pal.
Which, because of something later that happens in the episode, I am starting to think that's going to happen again.
Yeah, you never know at this point. Jesus Christ. And yeah, this seems very likely, actually. All right. And then, if you think that's the end of Inner Circle, though, they come back and they come out angry. Jericho calls for a rematch against Cassidy, and he asks Santana again, does he smell like orange juice? And Santana not only could have just ignored the question and said he smelled fine, but says he smells like cat pee, which pisses off Jericho, so he just leaves. And that segment. Santana's the best, man.
I like how they're all arguing with him. He's like, what?
It's like, I'm just telling the truth, man. It's like, you couldn't just lie to him? I love that.
And then Ortiz comes back and, like, yells in the microphone, Capus! I was like, Jesus.
That's why they work so well. It's like in terms of their gimmicks, you never thought it would mix, like you said. But something about Jericho being the glue makes everything work. Like
Yeah,
small segments like that.
I agree. I agree.
And next we have the official signing of FTR, where they signed with AEW. And part of that contract, they announced to us, who we could clearly hear, that part of their contract is hosting a tag team appreciation night on August 12th. Curious to see what that will be. And then Hangman Page comes in, and then he pours everyone a shot of whiskey. He was going to pour one for Arn, but then Arn saw how heavy-handed Page was and declined. Smart man. And FTR and Hangman Page drink together. I think Hangman Page filled an actual bottle of whiskey into an entire whiskey glass
He did. Um,
and then
so
drank most of it. That's Jesus, man.
so because FTR had Arn come and be a part of this signing, leads me to wonder if Cody keeps being cocky during matches, underestimating his opponents, will Arn leave Cody for FTR?
I could see that. Or it could also be Cody turning heel, and then you have heel FTR, heel Cody.
Maybe.
And you just throw in one more guy?
I don't know. Arn's been getting frustrated a lot lately.
That's true. It looks like there could be dissension between them too.
Mm-hmm.
And like we said, with AEW, like these storylines could vary so much. Like, good example, we thought we were gonna get a heel Hangman Page, but that might not be the case. We might get a heel Kenny Omega, or heel Kenny Omega could be a red herring. Like, this breakdown between Arn and Cody could be either one, honestly.
I would agree.
All right, and then next we have the Dark Order. They show a lot. They show up a lot in this tonight's episode. So we have Dark Order versus Hangman Page and Kenny Omega for the AEW Tag Team titles. Wait, sorry, am I out of order? That is the next match, because I thought that was the main event, actually. It's kind of crazy. But anyways, you could hear Colt Cabana on commentary, and you could tell he's been drinking the Dark Order Kool-Aid.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
He's all over it. He's the definition of I'm not in a cult guy, because he's in a cult. Anyways, Evil Uno kicks out of a V-trigger, so Kenny and Page retain using the V-trigger and buckshot lariat combination, and they're still your champions, but Brody Lee gets really mad. He was next to the commentary booth, and he sicks the entire Dark Order on the Elite. And this is everyone from Alan Five Angels to the random miscellaneous unnamed Dark Order members. But all it takes is FTR coming in for the save with their styrofoam water cooler smash over the head of Brody Lee, and they even the odds, take out the Dark Order. Brody Lee is not happy.
Yeah, this was a good segment. What was I gonna say? It was about
I just wanted to point out the small details in this match too. I just realized that Anna Jay, who he recruited previously, showed up in her, Dark Order attire. So I guess she's officially in.
Yeah, seriously. So, that's what it was. Colt Cabana. And I noticed this because of how Brody Lee was talking to Colt and telling him to leave. And what he was holding in his hand. I realized, and I started putting some things together. Colt Cabana is not completely sure what he's a part of. And this is why I think that. When they show Colt at the announcer's table, and Brody Lee is right next to him, Brody keeps looking at him. Colt has like a dead stone face. He looks nervous as hell. But in Colt's hands are pieces of paper. It was a script that Brody had Colt use. So every time you heard Colt Cabana
Oh,
speak on his headset, and he's like, "Yeah, Brody Lee is a great man. He's doing this and that." He's reading a script because when they show Colt later, Colt looks like deathly scared. All right.
yeah, I
Then
didn't catch that. That's good
yeah.
attention to detail.
Then at the end of the match, as Brody Lee's getting pissed and he's escorting Colt and the girl off. What's her name again?
Anna J.
Mm. Anna Jay. When he's escorting them off, he's kind of shunning Colt. And he's holding the same papers in his hands that Colt was holding, which leads me to
Mm,
believe Colt is nervous because he knows he's probably a part of something, and he feels like he's like kind of stuck. So I like that little detail that they're adding in there. If you haven't noticed that, you guys got to rewatch this match and just look at Colt's reactions and then listen to what he says on the microphone. Then watch the end of the
mm.
match as Brody escorts him through the tunnel before he gets like super pissed off.
Oh, and Brody Lee's a scary looking guy, so it'd be hard
Mm-hmm.
to get out of this right now.
Mm-hmm.
Damn.
Stuck
Yeah,
forever.
that's a good mental aspect to this story. I honestly didn't think about that, but that's pretty genius, honestly. If they're
Because
sticking with that storyline, it's gonna be really great because like we see like, eventually Colt has to get saved, right? And that's gonna be
yeah,
its own big storyline.
yeah, yeah. So now I'm interested to see what's going to happen to Colt over time. You know, is
Yes.
he going to go crazy from this? Is he going to like run to someone and be like, "I need you to help me.
Yeah.
I've joined Avon." Oh my God! Sorry, Avon. Love you. Sponsor us? No. Okay.
Worth a shot. All right, so next we have she's back. Britt Baker accepts Big Swole's challenge on the condition that she faces an opponent of her choosing. Who do you think that could be? Reba?
Probably like she's going to make her do it, and then it would give her someone. It would give Britt someone to yell at by losing that match. So I would
True.
assume so. I would say
And
so.
I haven't paid attention to Reba's wrestling career, but I've seen she's done some wrestling matches based on her Instagram, so
Yeah, yeah.
seems likely at this point. Yeah. So I'm excited to see what Reba can do or Rebel. Well, maybe we'll never know.
Hmm. Yeah. I would see the thing is, sorry, I'm choking on my candy. The thing is that what is a better storyline? You have somebody that is a full-time wrestler that loses the match and Britt gets mad or blames Reba about it or whatever, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Or you make her do the actual match. You train
Mm-hmm.
her, you psych her up, you do all of this stuff, and
Mm-hmm.
then she loses the match like maybe in like 1 minute or something, and
Mm-hmm.
Britt just goes completely nuts because Britt
Yeah.
doesn't want to face her. You know what I'm saying? And then it just deepens that how can I say it, that dynamic between Britt and Reba. So it's like, you know, is she gonna crack eventually?
Yeah. Because it deepens the divide between like the relationship and eventually like we're all gonna pop huge when Reba like finally rebels.
Yeah, yeah, I agree.
All right, so
And it'll
next we oh sorry, go.
before we move on real quick, in a short form, how do you think that would happen?
I it just has to be like some type of there's a lot of tropes to doing it. There's the classic like tag team match where like maybe, Britt's like yelling at Reba like in the match, they're both in the ring. So Reba just like clocks her, walks out, the crowd pops, and then like whichever the other side of the tag team is, Chris Statlander and Hikaru Shida or something. That would be great to have Statlander back. They wipe Britt Baker out, or it could be something where it's a segment where Britt Baker just like forces Reba to do something she doesn't want, like to the point where she finally snaps and says no. Britt Baker's shocked and like, what do you mean no? You always do like what I tell you. And then when she snaps, she finally like takes out Britt Baker. Crowd
Mm-hmm.
pop from that. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
honestly, it's a good route when you break from like a evil manager. So I'd like to see it.
Yeah, me too. And then I think they'll build up to it well. But I think they should give it some more time as well. I feel like if they did
Yes,
it anytime like soon, it would be too soon for me.
exactly. Because
Yeah.
right now they're still building their relationship, and I think a lot of people just love their act together right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, so
I,
next we have.
yeah.
Oh, sorry, go for it.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
Next we have Diamante versus Hikaru Shida,
Heyo.
and we thought Diamante had a really strong showing because she
Mm-hmm.
rolled up Evilise, but Hikaru Shida, she has a good back and forth match with her, but Shida wins very convincingly with that running knee strike for the win. And
Yeah.
that was it for the match for the women's division. What
Now,
did you? Sorry, go for it.
no, I think I was about to answer the question you were about to ask me. Hikaru Shida is dope,
Yes.
but for her to put away opponents in pretty easy fashion, if you think about it,
Yeah.
she needs to hit harder for me to feel like that's what's happening. I'm not saying she hits weak, but what you're proposing, the kind of winner that she is, and the deliverance of her moves and some of her skill sets and whatnot doesn't match for me sometimes. Um, so I don't know, but like just give a girl a black eye or something, you know?
Yeah. Well, there was that very convincing knee against Britt Baker.
Yes, yes, that I will admit.
Holy
Yes.
shizzle.
But
Um,
and I would like to see more of that level on a consistent basis.
yeah. But did you think it was weird that I think that was Diamante's debut match last week? Do you think it was weird that they didn't just build up Diamante, who was a pretty well established wrestler, to face Hikaru Shida, considering like they didn't have a lot of people in the women's roster to face Shida right now?
Wait, so what's the question?
So the question is, do you think they should have just held off Diamante versus Hikaru Shida
Mm, mm,
for a title match? Because honestly, Diamante is a good choice. Ivelisse is a good choice, but you already had her lose to Diamante. So Diamante seems like the most viable choice for the title right now,
yeah,
considering the women's roster, a lot of them can't travel. So
true.
why not build her up, but in her second AEW match, have her lose to Hikaru Shida already? Because now we already have our answer of who's better, you know?
Well, maybe that's the thing. She couldn't beat the champion once, but she beats everyone else. She wins a triple threat match. She wins a battle
Comes
royale,
back,
something.
maybe?
Comes back
Yeah,
and faces the champion again, and then this time maybe gets the win, maybe almost
yeah,
gets the win, but not quite, and then you can drag that into something else.
yeah,
Um, it depends. But Diamante has a really good look. I like her as a wrestler. I think she's really dope. Um,
yeah.
you know, so I'm interested to see what her direction is going to be now that she's lost to the champion. But I predict that it would be positive wins to come back around and make it full circle.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
And then next we have the very well awaited for a deadly draw. That's the women's tag team tournament, but AEW announces the rules and that it'll be on YouTube starting this Monday. So it's not going to be on AEW Dynamite. So I guess that's going to be something we're going to cover extra to AEW Dynamite because I'm pretty sure we're going to be watching that tournament too. But the rules are um, basically the tag team partners are random. So no one knows their tag team partners going into this tournament, but we do know one group, and we have another WWE return because Nyla draws purple, and it's announced that Arian is her partner, also known as the former Cameron from the Funkadactyls. Really random. Did
Um,
not did not
yeah,
know she was in AEW whatsoever.
yeah, me either. But I like where they're going with this. You know, they're always keeping the faces fresh and credible.
Mm-hmm.
So you know, with Nyla Rose involved, now it's interesting to see how that pair is gonna hold up. I
Oh
see
yeah.
something bad happening, or like a moment that doesn't work, and like first round Nyla can't take it and just power bombs her own teammate through a table.
Yeah. It it's gotta be like something like that. Like I believe there's gonna be a point where Nyla and her would just lose because Arian took the pin and then Nyla just tears on her.
Yeah, yeah.
All right, and then next we have MJF doing his speech in his basically very Trump-like outfit because that's the exact same suit, man. And he challenges Moxley for the title. And he implies Moxley is ripping off Stone Cold, and he has strong words for changing the AEW roster. So I guess that singles winning streak had its purpose, and MJF is now challenging Moxley at All Out for the title.
Yep.
Holy shiznit. Yeah.
Yep. Um, he looks like he could be in the Trump family. It's hilarious.
Yeah. The way he was dressed, he knew what he was doing. It can't get more heel than that.
And he's really good at it. Like he's a natural at being an asshole, and we've said that before. But he's just so good at it. You know, he doesn't force
Mm-hmm.
it. He doesn't. Um, he doesn't try anything that, like, how can I say? He knows how to push the envelope without doing things that would be detrimental to the promo or his character in that
Mm-hmm.
moment. You know what I'm saying? Like he keeps it safe while still always pushing what he says or does. I thought it was a funny segment. At the same time, I'm just looking at the screen like, boo, I hate this guy.
Yep.
Um, but yeah, it was a cool moment. It was funny. The way he comes from his dressing room and he just has these different moments with different people. I thought that was really good too.
Yes. Yeah. Like smile to his secretary. You look better when you smile or something. It's like just small things.
Yeah, yeah, such an asshole.
All right, and then we have the main event. It's
Heyo.
Darby Allin and John Moxley versus Brian Cage and Ricky Starks in a Texas Tornado tag match. Now, it was reported on our last podcast that Darby was concussed, and this made it very convincing that he wasn't going to show up. So I'm glad they played to this news too, because there's Darby's entrance music, but he doesn't show up. So you have everyone thinking, "Oh shit, maybe that concussion was pretty bad then, right?" And then you have Taz and Starks cut a promo bashing Moxley and Darby, and it looks like it's going to be a handicap match where they're just going to wall up on Moxley. But psych, Darby hits a coffin drop from the entrance Tron and to surprise Cage and Starks, and then they start brawling. The match goes underway, and man, did they really punish Starks for that concussion move because Moxley chucks a chair at Starks' head full force while he was running the ropes, and then the match ends when Darby hits Starks with a diving skateboard full of thumbtacks. He pins him for the win. Holy shiza.
Yeah, seriously. Like that was a dope match. And yes, at the same time, they got Ricky Starks back for what happened last week. Now,
Like hard. Jesus Christ.
yeah, now does that mean what happened to Darby was a work?
I don't know, but the way they played it, I can't tell. And that's how I like my wrestling to be, I guess.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
But
and it's important to know it's announced that it's Darby Allin, the number fifth contender. I don't know if
mm,
number fifth is a actual word, but number fifth contender for the AEW Championship is taking on Jon Moxley next week.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
it's going to be good.
It's going to be good, but obviously Moxley's going to win.
Oh, yeah. Hands down.
But it would be so cool to see Darby actually win.
Oh, yeah. We know it's not going to happen, but we would love to see him with that title. That would look really nice.
Any title, rather.
Oh,
but especially that one.
Exactly. Also, he got a new tattoo.
Where?
In addition to the face paint, his entire left arm. He never had that giant skeleton arm tattoo, right?
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Yeah, I was like...
But then again, he wears a lot of long sleeves.
That's true. But yeah, that's a nice addition because most of his tattoos are like words, so...
Yeah.
And also that tattoo, really good addition to his character.
True. I agree with that. I like Darby's style. He reminds me of a more deranged, in a sense, young Kidman. You know, just less hair, face paint, but that's kind of what I see from him a little bit.
I get like a Jeff Hardy vibe from him, like very young Jeff Hardy, very Daredevil.
I would agree with that too. Yeah. Darby.
He's going to jump off something high. I just know it. There's going to be a match against Cage, and he's going to jump off something high. He might not win it, but he's going to jump.
His mission is to outdo Shane McMahon.
Yeah. That's what I'm worried about, though, because we need him on a week-to-week basis. If he does something like that, we're not going to see him for a month.
Yeah, seriously.
And if that's it for AEW, we're going to move on to NXT.
Yeah.
This is the... Oh, go for it.
Here we are, driving around town, wondering when I'm going to lay you down. Girl, you got me saying my. All right, David, take it away.
Got it. And this is the July 29th episode of NXT, and it starts off strong with their strong-ass women's division because it's Io Shirai and Tegan Nox versus Candice LeRae and Dakota Kai.
Yep.
And before this match even starts, Io Shirai gets attacked by Dakota Kai. Tegan Nox comes in to save her, and then Candice joins the fray too. But the match ends when Tegan gets the hot tag. Later on in the match, Shirai wipes out the whole field, and then Tegan actually sneaks in the shiniest wizard. Very heel of you, Tegan. And Io hits the moonsault for the win.
This was a good, solid match. I enjoyed it a lot. And Dakota Kai is getting better at being a heel. But she just looks like the type of person that's used to just being nice, you know? I mean, I could be wrong, but she seems more comfortable with what her evil side should be like. So it's working for me. And then you see that evident in a promo segment later in the night, but
oh, hell yeah.
Yeah, but, you know, she's really grown a lot since she's first come to NXT. But beyond that, like, Tegan Nox is like she's wrestling. The way people get behind her and how she wrestles, it's like she's been there for, like, you know, a couple of years. And she's only been there for, like, what, a couple of months?
Yeah, dude, I don't know how to explain her, but she's a wrestling prodigy, for lack of better words, I guess.
Well, she just looks like she works really hard, you know, to be able to do certain things. But yeah.
That sneak, shiniest wizard, that came out of nowhere, and that happened so quick. And then she got out of the ring. Woo.
Tegan! Love you.
Yeah.
Anyway, but Io Shirai had a good showing as well, too.
Yes.
But I like that they're giving Tegan more opportunity to showcase herself, because when you're in a match with Io Shirai, it's easy to get overlooked on some of the more poppier moments. So,
oh yeah, because Io just like dives like it's nothing. It just seems like it's walking to her, just diving to the outside, going back in, hitting her moonsault. Like, everything just seems like as normal as breathing to her. Like, that's what makes her so insane.
Yeah, I would agree with that. What we got next?
We got Adam Cole raging at the Pat McAfee show. Now, this happened a couple prior days, and this was reported on a news article, but we didn't really want to report it because it seemed like a work at that time. And now the fact that it's on NXT, it's almost 100% a work because basically Pat McAfee's been tweeting or texting Adam Cole a bunch too, and it looks like he wanted to be part of like some wrestling angle. So this seems to be the case. It seems to be a lot of work, but if you see Adam Cole's Instagram right now, a lot of Pat McAfee's fans thought that was real. So there's a lot of like things going on there. But anyways, they address Adam Cole raging at his show, and then it shows how much like Adam Cole is pissed after losing the title. And this is a good sign because it looks like they have plans for Adam Cole and he's not moving to the main roster, which is honestly my biggest fear. Kept me up at night. Just kidding. And then next we have Johnny Gargano versus Roderick Strong. Now, after a strong back and forth match, Gargano wins with the final beat DDT.
Yep. It was a cool match. There wasn't much special, but it does lead up to something later on in the night. You know, and not super heavy, but it is a little bit of, it does have a connection because the way you see Roddy lose the match and what happens later in the night, you know, it fits well together. So
exactly. And here it is, because
yep.
First, Kyle O'Reilly is back in ring capacity, because I think this is the first time we've seen him like in his ring gear, because all the other times he was in some type of suit or a therapist costume. So this is dope to have him back in a fighting capacity. He hypes up the Undisputed Era. He wants them to get back on track, and it builds to something on later on in the night. You guys will see.
Yep.
And then next, Dakota Kai has her interview where she says she deserves to be #1 contender. And Rhea returns and says she's got a problem with that statement because she wants the NXT Women's title. So there's going to be a match between Rhea and Dakota Kai soon, I guess.
Yeah, that's going to be a good match. As long as the heelish stuff from Dakota doesn't make her look like too much of a chump, because you know, Rhea is a really good wrestler and Dakota Kai is a really good wrestler. So I would like to see, you know, even if there's like moments where, you know, like Rhea bests Dakota, you know, for a moment during a match, I want to see Dakota really like give it back to Rhea. I don't want to see too many like stupid antics or like running around or whatever, you know. I want to see like a solid match, because Dakota Kai, like when she really wrestles, and I'm a huge fan of Rhea Ripley, so that to me just sounds like a really dope match to watch, but
yeah,
I just don't want to see so much Vince McMahon heel stuff during the match.
Yes, like it should just be like Dakota Kai using her legs, which she thinks is stronger than like Rhea's pure strength, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, something more technical and not like her relying so much on Raquel Gonzalez.
Yeah, seriously.
And then next we have Shotzi Blackheart versus Mercedes Martinez. And Mercedes Martinez hits this beautiful release German suplex off the top rope, and then hits the air raid bomb for the win. So she has 2 finishers now. Very excited win for Mercedes Martinez.
One thing that I would have liked to have seen, and this is something they can build on in the future, because she kind of did show a little concern about it, but not too much because she was into the match. Mm-hmm. But like when Robert Stone and Aaliyah are like trying to interfere and stuff, because I remember she said like, I don't want to worry about all the stuff that's outside the ring. I just want to worry about the stuff about what I need to do inside of the ring. Like, I would like to see a moment where she like literally like yells at them or whatever and makes it known like, you don't interfere in my matches. Like I just want to see that aspect added, because how she was saying that, you know, she was saying what she was saying when when she first spoke to him. It's just one of those things where it's like you don't want to run the risk of costing the match for your new client, by trying to get
Exactly.
involved because you think you're helping and it doesn't go well. So I don't know. That's just my opinion on it.
No, I agree too, because I think there's gonna be a point where she gets pissed or Robert Stone costs her a match and she'll blow up on him. Not anytime soon, but that seems very
Yeah,
likely.
yeah, I agree.
And next we have a vignette for Rich Holland, who is debuting next week. Don't know too much about this guy, but we have a lot of people from NXT UK coming over to regular NXT, I guess.
Yeah, it should be a good match because the other two, but this third person is a wild card because you don't know too much about him.
Yes.
So it's going to be one of those things where this could be a really good showing for him, because yes, there's people that know who he is, but then you have people like us who are not actually too aware. And there's nothing
Mm-hmm.
wrong with that. There's a lot of talent out there that you got to pay attention to,
Mm-hmm.
and that deserve your attention. And I'm sure he's one of them. So I'm excited to see next week's triple threat. Um, Simply because this third person is a legit wild card, simply because we don't know too much about him. But Damian Priest looks really focused. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. I love that little interview he had because I don't know what happened, but after that Finn Balor match, he just seemed more confident, more like he knows his character better or
Yeah, I would
something.
agree. Yeah, I would agree with that. Yeah.
And I just random note here, if we're gonna be bringing wrestlers from NXT UK, you guys gotta bring in Tony Storm. That would be dope. Anyways,
Yeah, I agree. I completely agree. And she would knock the house down.
yes. And then we have a very serious segment because Keith Lee cuts a promo on Cross and how he basically murdered Dijakovic last week. And literally, the world's dumbest mistake, Cameron Grimes interrupts a mad Keith Lee. You might as well have just jumped into a ocean filled with sharks. You might as well have just tugged on Superman's cape, man, because you effed up here. Because
Yeah.
literally,
Yeah, I would
yeah,
agree with that. Yeah.
Cameron Grimes was like taunting him from like a safe distance too, because he's like, I'm outside the ropes, I'm safe, right? Heel trope. Nope, Keith Lee just grabs him from the other side, anyways, tosses him in. And you see Scarlett almost save him. She appears from the smoke on the entrance ramp, and you have Cross on the Titantron warn Keith Lee. But during all this, Keith Lee still spirit bombs Cameron Grimes into pieces. And after this, Cross, warns Keith Lee about giving him a title shot. And Keith Lee, um, it's crazy to hear him cuss, but since we never hear him cuss, because he seems like a very put together guy. But when he cuss, it it just makes it so much more impactful because he never does, and you could
Keith
tell he's pissed.
Keith Lee is brilliant is brilliant on the microphone. And
Yes.
what I love this version where he still has that slow commanding like king talk that he has, but when he's like
Yeah.
pissed, that shit sounds so vicious. Oh my god.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's like listening to a in my opinion, a better promo version of Brock Lesnar. Like Brock Lesnar should sound like that on the microphone, and he doesn't,
Yeah.
and that's why he has Paul Heyman.
That's
So,
true.
you know, not knocking Brock Lesnar, but just saying that's just what it is. Keith Lee
Yeah.
is monstrous, and I love when he talks in his all his glory, and like takes his time.
Mm-hmm.
But like this version where he's just straight up pissed, like oh my god, it's so good. I love Keith Lee so much. My God. Now, who's going to take the title though? Is he going to retain, or is Karrion Kross actually going to pull it off because he's a crazy psychopath?
That's so tough because okay, I'm trying to think when NXT Takeover 30 is happening because that's such a big pay-per-view and I think that's when it's happening. So I'm like, do you want a major title change so early? but also at the same time, it's like at such a detrimental pay-per-view. So it's a very hard question.
Yeah, I
I
would agree
don't,
with that. Yeah.
yeah, how do you even book yourself out of this? I'm curious.
Um,
I have faith in NXT in these situations, but it's just nothing comes to mind.
you have Dijak come back, distract the match. Karrion Kross loses, and in a fit of rage starts continues the feud with Dijakovic. And then
Mm,
Keith Lee can retain. and then you leave in the air that because Dijak interfered, um, we actually don't have a definitive answer of who would have won the title or retained it. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah.
so that's something you can even use to put over the fans and like have them think about that in their mind. Like, damn, like there was no real finish to that, and it's got to work, and NXT knows how to do that, but
Mm-hmm.
it's got to be like oh man, um, like he didn't win the title this time, but he was about to. But Dijakovic interfered, but Karrion Kross really had him. So it just makes you want to see a part two. But they have to have a super dope part one. It has to be like a 5-star match,
Mm-hmm.
which I think it could be. But like it also at the same time needs to either highlight Karrion Kross actually winning the title because he's a psychopath, or
Mm-hmm.
losing the title not by actual loss. I just
Mm.
don't know what kind.
That was actually a good cutout point for a ad because it ended on like the thought of it too.
True, true. Maybe I'll place one there and then I'll trim this clip. Um, so all in all, we'll see what happens with this storyline between Keith Lee and Karrion Kross. Um, but I know it's going to make for a great match. I know that
Yes.
much.
Yeah, that's crazy because if say Keith Lee wins clean, who does he face from here? Because that was your biggest built guy.
Well, he said he was willing to face everyone, so why not put him in a triple threat?
Oh,
There's
true.
there's so many there's so many different types of matches you can throw him into once he's done facing people like singles, doing singles matches where it's like these are the only viable people he can face. Like
Mm,
you need to put up the title in like a cage match or a ladder match or this or that, where Keith Lee doesn't have to necessarily lose the title physically. Um,
mm.
that's kind of how you can keep it fresh and keep it going. And then bring in new talent like usual, and then
True,
Karrion
true.
Kross comes back and slices his Achilles. Who knows?
Yeah, yeah.
Psychopath.
Yeah, he is a psychopath, man. Literally TikTok on Keith Lee.
Yeah, seriously, and
And
not the
then
app.
next, yeah, not the app. Don't. Oh, could you imagine Cross doing a TikTok dance? Mm.
No,
Yeah, let's not.
actually,
Let's not.
I don't
No.
want. Yeah, I don't know if I want to. Oh my god.
Yeah, maybe Keith Lee. He has the group for it.
He's got it. He's fine. He's fine.
And next we have another NXT UK group. It's Imperium, and they're facing Everrise. And Imperium hits the European bomb. They win in very quick fashion, but Yui comes back to jump Imperium. So this is what we were mentioning previously. Yui got finally all riled up, and they needed to take out their anger on someone. So they wipe out Imperium. Kyle O'Reilly and Bobby Fish hit their tag team finisher on one of the members, and they just murdered them, starting a feud against Imperium now. I'm curious to see where this goes, especially since Walter, I don't know if his travel restrictions has changed, and also Alexander Wolf, I'm assuming he also has the same issue. So I'm excited to see where this goes. Maybe the other two members will show up next week.
One can only hope because if Walter is back at home in the UK, I mean that might already be done with because the UK and Europe, we're making decisions on not allowing travel towards the United States in and out, just because simply we don't have a hold on this virus thing. So
yeah, that's why we haven't gotten Neville back too. I mean, Pac. Sorry, don't kill me. Okay.
Oh my god. But yeah. So that would, But as always, we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Yep, we will see. And then next, we have a very nice promo video for Bronson Reed, and it clearly shows that they're invested in this guy because they're running a promo for him. He looks like a very viable contender now, and honestly, that 5-star frog splash kills, man.
Yes, it does every time.
Yeah, he'd be murdering people with that. Anyways, next we got Isaiah Swerve Scott versus Jake Atlas. This is going to be a cruiserweight match, even though they don't mention it, I think.
This was a dope match. Dope match. Yeah. That fireman's carry to the almost reverse Olympic slam off the top rope, that shit was tight.
Yeah, they had so many nice moments. They revived the cruiserweight division so fast, the way NXT booked it. And this was one of those matches that are going to keep elevating it.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I would agree. Definitely.
So after hitting the house call on the outside of the ring on Jake Atlas, Swerve hits the JML driver for the win. We have a driver finisher in NXT. That's fucking great. Anyways.
Yay.
So Isaiah Swerve looks like he's going strong. I honestly thought Legado del Fantasma would do something about it because Isaiah Swerve Scott had some strong words to say against him, but it's going to happen eventually.
I'm just happy that we've, about this win for Swerve. I said it recently.
Talking about this, yes.
Yeah, we were. He is a talent that should not be taking as many L's as he has. I get it. Everybody's got to earn their keep and make sure they can last. But at the same time, he is really dope. He is really charismatic. And, he looks like a champion. Just because he has this I don't give a fuck, but I know what I'm here for attitude. So, but yeah. Isaiah Swerve Scott, this made me super happy to just see him win. I literally clapped woo. I felt like I was watching the Lakers game. Yeah,
honestly,
man.
And his finisher is sick, dude. It's like if you could make a package power driver version of Kenny Omega's One Winged Angel, because it's lower escalation, but it still hits as hard.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
What a great guy. Next, we have the main event. It's Dexter Lumis versus Timothy Thatcher versus Finn Balor to qualify for the North American Championship match at TakeOver. So this whole match, Balor's left leg gets injured. This it plays very well into the ending of the match because Lumis hits the Uranagi and the silencer submission on Thatcher, but Balor breaks it up by hitting the coup de grace on Lumis. But then Thatcher puts the ankle lock on Balor's injured leg, and then Lumis comes back from surviving a coup de grace and puts the silencer on Thatcher to make him pass out. So Lumis is in the match. And once again, one of the fan favorites or, more decorated superstars did not qualify. So I'm very excited for these triple threat matches because it looks like they're trying to put over their more fresher talent.
Yeah, I would agree with that. And it's obvious now that that's where they're going. Now, for the third, because of that, what is your prediction for the third triple threat match? Because
that's so hard. Because
there's
a wild card in that one. We don't even know how well they want to push him. Maybe they just want him to be in the match already.
And at the same time, if you put in Damian Priest has been there, right?
Yeah.
So he's not a full-fledged veteran, but he's been there long enough to where he has that status of the other guys that would be fan favorites. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So when you have this wild card, it's yes, are they really investing more into this wild card, or is this just like one off or blah blah blah? And then do you finally give Oni Lorcan a chance? Oni's in it, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Oni.
Yeah, I think it's Oni.
Oni has done some good stuff, but I feel like Oni Lorcan is one of those people that like he's really good, especially at what he does, but doesn't always get a lot of the top tier opportunities like he did in the beginning. Which is
True.
normal. You're new, you do this, you're intense and all of that stuff, but like consistency in some sort of way. I mean, yes, he did a lot in NXT UK, but
Yeah, and they're sleeping on those matches he had at 205 Live.
yes,
I'll missed a lot of it, but like this guy killed it as their cruiserweight champion, honestly.
yeah, for real. So we'll see what happens, but by the looks of it, if they're going new talent all across the board, it's going to be this wild card.
Yeah. And honestly, the best part about these triple threat matches that we keep getting, at this point, the way they booked it, we don't know who the winner is. That's the best part because it's not a predictable match. And these exchanges are so good, especially like, for example, the ending to this match, literally every finisher in the span of like 1 minute. Amazing.
Yeah, I'm excited for next week's match. I personally want Damian Priest to win. I think he would look good with the North American title.
Me too.
But Bronson Reed, after his video package, it would be nice to see it on him, and then you could have the Thick Boy Nation with him and Keith Lee.
Yup, make that a faction.
There it is, Thick Boy Nation. I'm kind of thick because my stomach a little pudgy, but anyway,
everyone got that going on. It's Corona season, man.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
So what do we got next?
That's it. That's the main event. That's
all right.
NXT.
So that is it. That is all. AEW and NXT were good this week, as usual. NXT and AEW are consistent at being good. Even if there's minor setbacks or mistakes here and there, they're always corrected, and those things happen. But all in all, both shows were really good. I'm not going to compare them or say which one was better this week, but AEW's promo work, or I should say graphics department, with all the colors and stuff that they're using and whatnot, I love it. It is so fresh. It feels so good to look at. It is so different. The lighting is different, but I love the way it looks. Obviously, they'll always improve on it and whatnot. But just the colors that they keep using, like, it's dope that they're not just relying on like 3 colors or 2 colors as like a base for the entire show.
Exactly. Like most wrestling shows, they make it work with all the colors.
Exactly. And they're switching colors up, so even though they have the same like backdrop and effects, that when you implement different types of colors, it really changes things up, to keep it fresh and keep it going. I'm excited to see what their graphics department comes up with when they repackage like the intro and everything, and they have like if they're not using the paint explosions and all of that stuff, like what's the next idea. I'm excited to see that. I feel like they're really going to focus on being as creative as they can every time they update the content and whatnot. So we'll see.
I agree, man. Yeah, I'm super excited for them every week, honestly.
Yep. Well, since that is everything, we hope everyone, as always, is staying safe, staying healthy, using hand sanitizer, wearing a mask, and just keep watching wrestling. Basketball is back on. I need to go back home and find out if the Lakers won. And I guess baseball is kind of back, but whatever. Yeah, but so, we hope you guys are just making the best of these moments. We hope y'all get that stimulus check real quick, and don't run out of your unemployment benefits.
Let's get that bread.
Yep. And if there's any, frontline workers listening to this, we love you, we thank you, and we God bless you. We, for lack of a better government, we would not be where we were without your diligent efforts. So we thank you and salute you. Without further ado, I have been your host, JP.
And I have been your host, David.
And you've been listening to
3 Count Reviews.
All right. See you guys.
Bye.